Hi, this is Audra from AudraAnikaJames.com, and I wanted to talk about a problem that everybody seems to ask, which is when you're doing a ton of prospecting, how the heck do you keep up with it all, especially on Facebook? The thing about Facebook Messenger is that it is definitely not designed for people like us who are using it to prospect people and to find out if those individuals are interested in our product or services. So we're trying to have a bunch of conversations with a bunch of people, and there's no real way to keep track of everything. And Facebook Messenger, well, it is horrible with that. It's meant for people who want to have a couple of conversations with friends and family in maybe some groups, right? Some group chats. So I'm going to show you a way that I have discovered that makes it super easy for me to keep track of all of my Facebook prospecting. And the way I'm going to do it is via my Facebook page fans. So I wanted to show you the people who like my page and how I get that information outside of Facebook, including links to their page, and then go ahead and keep track of all the prospecting that I'm doing. So here we go. This is my Facebook fan page. Now, I got to see everybody who likes my page. How did I do that? Well, I'm on my fan page and I hit settings. Okay, so let me just go to my fan page real quick and I'll show you. So here it is. You go to your fan page, wherever that is. Or if you're just trying to do this with, you can do this with everything, but I'm going to just show you this right here. So you go to settings. And once you hit settings, you go to people and other pages. And this is people who like your page. Everybody who likes your page here that publicly allows you to see that will show up here. If that person has their settings where you can't see what they like, then you're not going to see that individual. It's okay. So you're going to scroll all the way down, and what's going to happen is it's going to start to pop up a little bit because everybody is not going to show up all at once. And so I want you to scroll down to get to the very, 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 very end. Now, I'm going to go through this, and you have this video so you can watch this over and over and over again. It's going to take a little bit of maneuvering, but anybody can do this, I promise. I'm in Chrome, and so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to More Tools, Save Page As, because what I want to do is save this page. This is going to be the complete HTML page. It's going to say save as type, web page complete, and when it does save, and you change the name of this, right? And so you want it to be Facebook fan, oops, right? Maybe you want to put in the date. I do it backwards for easy sorting. Okay, right? And so, but here I did it right here. And I wanted to show you that you got the HTML page and then you got all of these files. For those of you who are not into web development, you have no idea what this is the HTML raw page, and all of the files like pictures and images that are needed in order to make the page work show up in these files. So then you want to save this, but I'm not going to do it because I already have saved it. So let me just go ahead and cancel that. And I want to show you that it's in here. So excuse me while I move this over here. All right. And so here it is. Facebook fan page likes. Okay. And just so you can get a hint of what these files look like, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff, JPEG images and various files and things. You're not going to need that information, so you don't have to worry about it. But leave it there for a second. And now you want to go in here and you want to open it up in Excel. Now, I already did that. I already opened it up in Excel. And the reason why I did that is because it takes a long time and I wanted to make this a shortcut. But you go here, you find your page, and then you click open, and you just want to straight up open it as the HTML file. It's going to take a long time to open because there's a lot of information. When you do that, after that's done, you immediately save as. I want you to save it as a Excel macro enabled workbook, okay? That's XLSM, not X. M as in Mary. So you save that as a macro enabled workbook, and this is how it's going to look. Your name and then XLSM. And I'm going to cancel this because I've already done that. And then you're going to see everything here. Now this is going to look a blessed mess, okay? And it's going to be crazy. But what we're going to do is make this easy. So we go to Find and Select, because the first thing we have to do is get rid of all these pictures, okay? So all of these pictures are sort of on top of the Excel spreadsheet and doesn't look good. So we're going to select Objects. We're going to go to Special, and we're going to select Objects. Now all of the objects will be selected. Okay, now see how there's got these little white boxes here? These are all the pictures on the page that showed up, okay? But we want to get rid of them. So you want to click on the delete button and they disappear, okay? Every time you do something in Excel, especially for a project like this, I want you to go ahead and save. So we're going to save it. See, quick. Now, you can't click on anything here. I just want to show you because you have selected that you want to select objects. There are no more objects on this page. So you go back to Find and Select and you unclick Select Objects. So now you can go here. I'm a bit of a person who likes things super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and make it this no fill so I can see things a little bit better. And I want no borders. And what's going to happen is that now you're going to be able to see, hold on, no fill. You should be able to see, oh, and then you go to View and you go to Grid Lines. So now you can see all the grid lines and you could see where things are, okay? Now, here's the deal. There's going to be a ton of junk that you just want to get rid of, okay? And so scroll down to where you start to see the names of the people and the list and how and when they liked it. Now, if you notice, if you click here, you see that if you hover over, you'll see a Facebook URL. That is the URL of that person's page. We want to get that in, we want to get that information out. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the name. We're going to scroll all the way up and select the entire row. Okay, and we're going to get rid of it. So right click, delete. And then what are we going to do? We're going to save. Okay, now here we have all of these people and we're going to scroll down all the way down, and we're going to get to the end of this list. Okay, then there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff at the end of the list. So now you scroll all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Just keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Okay, when it gets to where it's obvious there's no more information, right click, delete. And what are we going to do? We're going to save. There you go. All right. So we don't care when they signed up. At least I don't care. And so what I want to do is I want to take out this column, which has no information. And I want to take out this column, which has no information. Okay. So we've got names. Then what I want to do is I want to click on the whole thing, and I want to go to Data, and I want to go to Filter. Okay. We don't need columns B and C because there's nothing in there, so we can delete that because we want to make sure there's no data on here other than what we want. And we see names, okay? So click on column A, and I want you to sort it. We're going to sort by column A, or you can say my data has headers, which is the best thing to do because it's got this name here at the top. That's a header. And then you could sort by name A to Z. Click. Now, what are you going to do now? You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, because everybody's now in alphabetical order and there's going to be a lot of blank spaces. And I want you to go ahead and just scroll all the way down to where it's like obvious, like, you know, I don't know, a few hundred rows, because you want to get rid of any kind of like weird data. So you just want to make sure that, there we go. And then what are we going to do? We're going to save. All right. Now, our next goal is to get a URL. So we want to go to URL, and what I want to do is I want to show you here that we're trying to get this information over here. Now, the way you do that is by creating and adding a function. I did not create this function. I found it, but it's code. And don't let code scare you. This isn't a scary thing, I promise. So here's the code right here. Okay. And I'm going to want to copy it. And then you want to go back to here. And you can either go to developer and you can click on Visual Basic. Okay. Now follow me slowly here because this is just going to be just fine. Okay. So what do we do here? We click Insert Module. All right. So I just wanted to show you that I'm following instructions just like it was written. Okay. So we go Insert Module, and then we copy that code here. I did not create this code. Okay. But I want you to save it. And this code will give you a function called getURL, and I'm going to show you exactly how that's supposed to work. So now we're back on our Facebook page. I want you to click here to the cell that's literally right to the right of the individual, okay? And we are going to do a function or a formula. So remember formulas? You may not be good at those in Excel, or you may not use them a lot. That's okay. What we're going to do is when we want a formula, we say equals and the name of the formula, and remember this formula is getURL, and look, here it goes, here it appears, getURL, because we created it. So here it is, getURL, and then here we have the open parentheses. We click on this field right here because we want to reference the field right over to the left. We go ahead, we close the parentheses, we click enter. Look, there it is. There it is. So if you click here, you can see that the Facebook URL appears, and here it is right here. Now, all you need to do is scroll down to the last individual that you have on your list. Now, there you go. And look, everybody's Facebook URL is here. Now, why are we doing this, you must be asking. I promise you, I will show you. Now, let me make that bold. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to select this entire column. Okay, we're going to go back to home, and we're going to copy, and then we're going to paste special. Okay, so we want to paste values. So you copy and you paste values. What does that mean? That means that now in the cell is just the URL and not the function that you were using. Okay, so save that. You don't need to filter anymore. And I'm picky. I like to change my fonts. There we go. Perfect. Now, if you want, you can do everything from Excel. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. You have this URL, and I'm going to use it to import it into a to-do app that's you can get for free that I use called ToodleDo. But if you wanted to if you're an Excel person, you're a list person, you want to go here, all you have to do is click, and then what's going to happen is it's going to open up into Facebook, but using that person's Facebook page. Okay, so here we go. There's that individual, and that's showing up. Sorry, this is taking a little bit long, but it's showing up. Here we go. And now you can do whatever you want in terms of following that person, messaging that person, so you can create a message. Now you can't link directly to Facebook Messenger, whether you're on your phone or on your desktop. It doesn't work that way. You have to link to their file and then press the message button. It's a little bit of an extra step, but then you can write whatever comment you want, and then you can go ahead and do all of your prospecting. And then you can go back to your page, and then you can write down the date that you last prospected them. So you sent them a message. We're going to say today's March 3rd, 2018, and maybe you want to write a note, sent intro. Okay, you can do that, right? And then what you can go, and then you can write columns, notes, right? And maybe even in this particular case, you want to put a priority of some sort, right? And so if they respond to your message, they're a medium priority because they responded, but if they're low because they're brand new, or they're high because not only they responded, but they say they wanted information, you sent them information, and they're top priority because you think that they could become customers. I don't know, whatever it is that your system would work for, like that's in your head, then you could put that down here, and then you have your notes, and then you can prioritize who you want to connect with on a daily basis and who do you want to connect with first, right? Who's most important to connect with? You can do that. But I want to get this into an app that I use where I can keep track of this without having to keep up with a spreadsheet. So I go to a place called Toodle-Do, and I'm going to show you how I use Toodle-Do to keep track of all of my prospecting. So this is a to-do app. It's one of my favorite to-do apps because there's so much that you can do with it. And one of the things that you can do that I love is you can create recurring tasks. So I create tasks on a recurring basis. So here we go, where I have a bunch of people. These happen to be my Facebook fan followers, right? Or followers. And I want to actually speak to them every 5 days, okay? So what I can do is once I click on the note, that note has their Facebook URL. I can click on the URL. It's going to open up on another page. Then I can go ahead and do exactly what I was talking about before, sending them a message, following them, doing whatever it is, and having that conversation. And then I can open up the note and write whatever note I want to write, and then click completed. Sorry, it takes a minute, but I'm going to click completed. Hey, there we go. There we go. Now I'm going to refresh this because I want to show you something. When you refresh this, when you have a task that repeats on a regular basis, what's going to happen is that task that you have is going to go away once you say it's completed, and it's going to create a brand new task with the new date. So I'm going to click started here, and I'm going to actually go ahead and, hey, didn't I just click on that? Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. Let's do that again because it probably didn't take. Here we go. Now we have two sections, started and then starts in the next 7 days. So this is sorted by start date. And now the next time I'm to interact with this person or check up to see if they responded is 5 days from now, where I could do a follow-up. So that'll be March 8th. And so that's how that works. And if you have a lot of people, you don't necessarily want to contact 1,000 people in a day. You may not have time to do that. That's okay. But what's going to happen is that when you do that, and you do a few every day you'll have a bunch. And so you can start the conversation and then you continue on with people that you've already worked with. And you can do the same thing. You open up the note, you expand it, you click on the link, and you can go from here. But the real question is, how do you get this information in Toodle-Do? So we're going to go over here, and we're going to go to import, export, backup. And we are going to export our data. So we're going to do a CVS export. And you're like, I thought you wanted to get data in, not out. There's a reason for that. What we want to do is we want to get the file format. And if you don't understand all of this, that's okay. Just follow what I'm doing, and you'll be okay. So we're going to download completed tasks, okay, or uncompleted, it doesn't matter. So we're going to download the CVS file. And it's going to download, and it's pretty quick, okay? And a CVS file is a very easy, quick little file, and it's a kind of a universal file. So we're going to go ahead and go to downloads, and I'm going to grab that file. Here it is. And what I want to do is get this top information here, okay? So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go back to my fan page likes, and I'm going to insert copy cells. All right, perfect. Now, because again, I'm pretty anal, I just want to make sure that everything looks good. Okay, so the name of the individual becomes the task, right? So we want to get rid of name, and they become the task. Okay, the folder is the folder of where you want all these tasks to be. So I just went ahead and I right click and I inserted a column, and I'm going to move folder over and put it here, and I'm going to name my folder. If you have a folder already named, great. If you don't, then guess what? Toodle-Do will create it for you. So Facebook fan page likes is going to be the name of that page, okay? I just want to make sure that we have the right. All right, there we go. So Facebook fan page likes. And by the way, you want to go ahead and make sure every single line item has that same folder name. So all of these will go into a new folder called Facebook fan page likes, or whatever it is you want to name it, okay? It's completely up to you. We're not going to fill in every single column here. It's going to be super easy. I'm going to get rid of the date, the notes, the priority, okay? And we want to fill in where the URL is, and that is, and I'm going to already tell you what you want to do. You want to get rid of time, because I don't use time. So you have start date, due time, delete. And you've got note. Okay, note's all the way at the end. So what you want to do is you want to grab all of this stuff. Actually, hold on. It's easier to just do it this way. It's way easier to grab the information that you want. You don't want context. You don't want goal or location. You don't need to worry about repeating. Actually, you don't even need to fill out this information. I'll show you how easy it is just to put in the notes. Just put in the note. It's all you need. Okay, everything else that you want to do, you can do later. So fill that in and replace it. Delete. So now you have, let's make this bold. So now you have a file, I'm going to save it, that says task, folder, and note. The task is the name of the individual. The folder is the name of the folder that you want to create or you already have, and the note is the URL of the individual. Now you want to save as a CVS file. Okay, so we're going to go and pop this in the same place and save as type CVS file. There we go, CVS, comma delimited. Okay, and it says, do you want to keep using that format? You say yes, and now it's a CVS file. Fantastic. Now we're going to exit out of here. You want to save your changes? Well, we've already saved them, so you don't have to worry about that. You're going to exit out, and we're going to go back into, it's going to take a second because it's closing. We're going to go back into Toodaloo, and then we're going to import this very file, and it's going to show up in Toodaloo. So, CVS task import, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and choose file. Today's content is where I had it here. And let's just make sure that it's done. Yeah, we're done. We're going to get rid of this one right here because we don't need it. Okay, so there we go, CVS file. And we're going to open. See, and it shows up here, and then we're going to upload. And then it's going to show you that this is what this looks like. So you see here are the fields that Toodledoo uses and your headers. And now what they're asking is this field that we use in Toodledoo the same as this thing that you have here as a header? And you match it up. So in this case, I had here note, and it really is notes. That's okay, because look, it shows up, and then you just click on the right thing. So we have task, folder, and notes, and as you can see, everything looks fantastic. And we are going to go ahead and continue with import. It's imported. Now let's go ahead and return to to-do list and see what it looks like. So you want to click on folders, which is here on the left, and then you want to go to your folder. Facebook fan page likes. Here it is. Now we want to do one more thing. Okay, you notice that there's no start dates and there's no repeats. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the new layout because I think it's nicer. And maybe by the time you look at this, the new layout will already be there. But if it doesn't and it shows up like that for you, the new layout, so much better. So anyway, if you click on here, you will see it'll expand. There we go. And there it is. Oops. Haha. Click too much. There it is. There it is. And then look, you click on here and it'll open up and there's the individual, right? We're just waiting for my webpage to show up. There it is. Perfect, right? Okay. So here's what you want to do. Now you want to go ahead and click on this little button right here, this little down button, and batch edit this list. Okay? What that means is you want to make a change that's going to affect everything in this particular folder. Now, you want to turn on the items that you want to look at. So you want to turn on start date and due date and repeat. And priority is low, and you could set it to anything that you want. Priority start with negative, and it goes low, medium, high, top. I usually keep it at low. If I'm not going to interact with this person anymore, I go down to negative, and then I'll go medium, high, or even top, depending on the level of interaction and the chances I think of that person being a sale, right? So, and then you could star people as well. So you have that option as well. So we're going to click on those, and we are going to change the start date to today. And we're going to change the due date to today. I like to make my tasks start and end on the same day for this particular day, this particular type of task. Now, repeat. I want to repeat from the date completed. And I want to do this, say, every 5 days. There are a lot of people. I don't want to contact a bunch of people every day. Now, let me explain from date completed. If you start a task and that task is January 1st, okay? And you complete, and it's on January 1st, you completed that day, it's going to repeat, and it's going to say that the next day is due January 2nd, if you ever repeat every day from the due date, okay? Now let's say it's January 1st, but you haven't touched that task at all, and now we're in March. If you have it from due date, and you want it to repeat every one day, when you complete that task that was due on January 1st, it's going to repeat and say that it's due January 2nd. Well, that makes no sense for this type of task. That's not what you want to do. So you want it from date completed. So even though it's March and you say you completed finally the task that was due in January, what it's going to do is going to repeat for the next day. Today's March 3rd, it'll repeat for March 4th. Does that make sense? Great. Now we're going to do it every 5 days because we don't want to do it every day. So we have these settings here, and it's going to save, and it's going to make these changes for every single task. There you go. So then what you go ahead and you do is you make and as I showed you before, when you click on here, it will update the start date to 5 days from now. And every day you take a chunk of these individuals, you prospect and have conversations with them, you change the priorities, you can add notes, and you can even use this as a little CRM. This is not a great CRM, but actually you can also use this on your phone. Toodledoo has a great app on both the Android and the iPhone, and I believe that you have to pay a small fee. I'm going to exit. We're going to exit the pages because they said they're unresponsive. Oops. So let me just go ahead and there we go. So what we're going to do is with the Toodledoo app, you've got one, I think it's the Android, it's free, but Toodledoo you have to pay for, or for the iPhone you have to pay for. It's only like, I don't know, $5 or something small like that. And it's super easy to use. And the great thing I like about it is that when you click on and expand the note and you can see that individual's URL, it's going to open up to your browser. So it'll open up to Facebook to your browser. You can go ahead, click message. It'll go straight to your messaging app, and then you can have that conversation. That way you can keep track of all the individuals and where they are. If you have a segment that is interested in one of your products, you can have a tab or a folder for those people who are interested in your products. If you have another group of people who might be interested in your business opportunity, you can have another folder specifically for that. So you can keep track of who you want to talk to and why, and then you just keep going back to those folders so you can keep track of how many people you've talked to and who you have to catch up with. So I hope this helps. I know that this was a lot. Please, I know you're going to have to go back and rewind this, especially if using a little bit of code is a little bit intimidating to you. This shouldn't be intimidating. It should be easy. Definitely rewind and go slow if you can. And if you have any questions, if you have any problems, definitely shoot me a note. You can find me on Facebook and send me a friend request or like my fan page, or you can go to audra.onicajames.com and send me an email and get in contact with me that way, and I will definitely help you out. This is by far one of the best ways that I have of prospecting on Facebook and being able to manage how I prospect people on Facebook, especially for somebody who's got a full-time job, a family, and a very long commute, and I don't always have my laptop around. Sometimes I'm at the grocery store, or to be honest with you, sometimes I'm on my way to the bathroom and I spend a couple of minutes shooting someone a note. And every single time that you do that in the midst of your day, during your day, you won't believe how much you could possibly get done, even though you think you don't have the time. So I hope this helps. Reach out to me and find more trips and training at audra.onicajames.com, and I will see you soon.